They've sorted through America. They found these three people that are obviously geniuses in that range, and they put them on stage. I must listen to everything they say. 6 months marketing, 6 months attention. Is it hard? I'm doing it, so it can't be that hard. These assets can last you for centuries. Assets, assets, assets. Tattoo on inside your eyelids, on your tongue, whatever you like. This guy knows the answers to this. I want to pay attention to him. Hell yes. Hey, how are you? And welcome to an episode of just me, this time actually with Clarity with Sims Media. As many of you know, I've just got off of speaking at the Traffic and Conversion Summit down in San Diego, which is called the Comic-Con for Marketing and Branding. I was one of the headline speakers there. I was a keynote on the main stage at 4:15 on Wednesday, and the finishing act after me was Logan Paul. So I got a headline of Traffic and Conversion. Now, I'm going to spin back to that in a second, and I want you to hold on to that and put a pin in it. But I want you to think about the stages. Now, I personally believe today it is a phenomenal credibility metrics to be on. You see, how many people have a podcast? How many people have Instagram pages? How many people are headlining on a stage? So there's far few people, far more attention that when you get it, people go, wow, they've sorted through America. They found these three people that are obviously geniuses in that range, and they put them on stage. I must listen to everything they say. Now, subconsciously, that's what's going through their head. We know reality is very, very different. When I got the deal with Traffic and Conversion, and I had some friends, and some of them actually in Speakeasy, that also were on stage in Traffic and Conversion, I force-fed the demand to be called keynote. I force-fed the demand to be main stage, even though truthfully there were way too many chairs in the main stage, and it would have looked better for me if I'd have been in one of the smaller rooms. But the video is always going to reflect main stage backdrops. So the bottom line of it is, you first of all got to understand this. What's the point of being on stage? Well, we've come out of COVID. We're very eager to get out there. We're very eager to get out and consume material, consume relationships, consume networks. We want to be in that group again. Now, at home, we're a little bit weird, but when we get into that kind of environment, we're normal. Okay, so we want to hang around with people that share the same desires and aspirations and goals that we can feed off to make our goals even bigger, and we can discuss them with people that won't poo-poo and laugh at our dreams. So the actual events themselves are high in demand. The stage, this is where you really need to position yourself, because you need to understand, and I've spoke about this before, but for any of you that are fresh to my material, we're going to go through it. There are 3 chapters in a speaking gig. One, the first chapter of importance. So they are in line of importance. The first chapter, and this is from a speaker's perspective, it's how much you can market ahead of the event. Now, you're going to be able to go, I can't believe I woke up this morning and I'm suddenly announced as headline a Traffic and Conversion, Go Higher Level, War Room, Genius Network, Archangel Summit, all of these. You announce it. The second you've got the gig, you announce it. Whether you're a month away from the gig or in the situation of TNC, 6 months away from the gig. So think about it. I got 6 months attention of me being keynote, one of the headliners at Traffic and Conversion Summit. 6 months marketing, 6 months attention. Anyone that was buying a ticket was going to see me on the speaker roster. All right. Anyone that's got an event going on would see that I was picked by TNC. So, hey, I must be something good. I got 6 months and millions of views of my position in San Diego. Chapter 2, after the event. Suck, fall over, forget your words, whatever. There will never be a day that you can take away from me that I was a headline act on the main stage of Traffic and Conversion, the largest marketing and branding summit pretty much in the planet. You can't take it away. All right? So I've got that accolade. I boast about me speaking in Harvard twice, spoke in the Pentagon once, headline Traffic and Conversion. those things never, once you've got them, they're your stars and stripes. And then there's the third chapter, the actual speech. Now, that third chapter is split into two. Let me explain. So you've got to focus on delivering content that is going to make the people that had you very, very happy that they picked you. Okay? So you've got to make sure you deliver. But think about it. Millions of people saw you before you went on stage. Millions of people are going to know what you boast about afterwards. 400 to 5,000 are going to actually see you. Okay? Far, far, far smaller number. But you've still got to be good because, as I said, there's two sub-chapters in the third chapter. And those two sub-chapters are, who are you talking to? Now, I went on the main stage. I'm going to be completely blunt with you. It's a strange event. For anyone that's been there, you know what I'm talking about. They have, at any one time, about 6 or 7 other speakers going on in and around the area. So you're competing for some of the eyeballs of that entire network, okay? On top of that, right in the middle is a vendors area. So you may have a conversation with one of the vendors set up at the same time someone's on stage. Now, bear in mind, I was there with Logan Paul, Ed Milet, Lisa Vanderpump. The arena was not packed by far. In fact, it wasn't even a quarter packed, okay? And when I was on, it was less than that, okay? Being completely honest with you. But that won't show on the video, okay? So you need to deliver the content to the people in the room, but you also, chapter 2, need to understand that you're talking to the audience that are now going to watch it on video. And they are going to get what they call a scalp shot. They're going to see the camera's going to go just over the heads. You're going to not notice that there's actually empty seats. You're not going to notice that there was only a quarter of the amount of people to fill in that auditorium. You're not going to see that. As far as you're concerned, you're going to see the main stage, all of those jumbotrons, all of the screens, all of the TNC banners. You're going to see all of that and go, wow, main stage, and think you're actually talking to 50,000 people. Was not the case. Okay, so whenever you go and you speak at an event, you got to think to yourself, okay, who am I speaking to? Is there a massive crowd? Is there a massive attendance that are going to be viewing it afterwards? Is there both? But channel your gig to that. So is getting on stage today a good thing to do? Yes. Now, again, I'm not pitching it, but recently I just announced I was doing a speaker training course because I really want to put my effort behind the fact for you to be on stage is worthwhile in today's credibility market. Okay. Stand out from the rest of the crowd by being up there. Okay. That's one thing. Is it hard? I'm doing it, so it can't be that hard. But there is a strategy, there is a structure, and you've got to make sure you work all the bells and whistles to make sure it's up there for you and for everyone else. There's got to be a win-win. And that's important. It's got to be a win-win. If you go up on stage and you do a fantastic speech for the crowd, you don't ask for assets. That's a key. Always ask for assets and photographs before the event. You're going out on a first date, okay? You don't want to ask for anything after that first night because you know everything's going to be given out on the first night. So the bottom line of it is, if you ask for assets and go, oh, can I get a copy of that video? And you ask for that after the event, they don't even remember your name. Now, I'm sorry, events, but you know what you're like. Once you've got through that event, you're on to the next one, okay? You know, hello, thank you, the money's on the desk. That's how you feel if you're asking for things afterwards. So when you get the gig, you go, thank you very much for the gig. One, I need graphics. I want to be able to promote it to my network that I'm actually speaking on stage, okay? Marketing created by them. Nothing better than having somebody else tell everybody else how brilliant you are. So get them to do the assets that you can go, oh, look at this. I'm with Blur. I'm with it. And show off who you're actually with. If you don't like the graphic, send it back. I've seen people before where they've actually posted graphics of an event that they're speaking at, but they're not on the graphic. Okay? You can easily go back and go, hey, do you mind doing a graphic where my people can see my involvement? So it makes it easier for me to get their bums on your seats. Every event in the planet has one interest. Someone's bum on that seat. Primitive as that, okay? You become part of that marketing if you can help that. But you can only help that if you've got the appropriate assets. Okay? So ask them for the assets that reflect your involvement. Start marketing it out there. Ask them, what's the ETA post the event for the video and photographs? Don't ask them if I can have it. Hey, just wanted to clarify, what's the ETA? How long after the event will it be before I get this? Do not ask, assume, request, okay, require, whatever, but that's how you do it. So you always want to ask for the assets. You always want to try and get the main stage. Then when you get to the event, if there's not a lot of people in there, still make sure the content's delivered and you got the eyeballs of the crowd, but understand you are now working with the camera, okay? As you walk on stage, where are the cameras? The camera's over there, okay? Camera's over there, so stop looking over here. Look over in that direction so you know for a while the camera's going to get a good shot of you. Be smart about that. These assets can last you for centuries. And I've missed out on a lot of them. I only know the stuff that I know now because I fucked up ages ago when I should have learned it. So I'm trying to help you get your assets so that you can put them into a sizzle reel and they can see you walking onto one of these stages, and it really, really will help you put that out there. Again, if you've got any questions, put them below and I'll come back and I'll answer them. Once you're on that stage, you've got the assets, then the next step post the event is to do hey, I'm so thrilled I'm here. This is absolutely fantastic. I was hanging out with Jim Quick, Ed Milet, Roland Frazier. You make a thing of it. You get other events to notice how courteous you are of the event you just spoke at. You're marketing that event even when you've left the event. Marketing companies want to see this. Events want to see that. So do that, and that's how you get on the stages. Now, if you're thinking, how do I get on a stage? The first thing you do is stalk people that are actually speaking on the stages you go to, and if they're friends of yours, reach out and go, hey, who's putting on this gig, and could I be one of the D-list? Look, you've all got to earn your stripes. I've done free gigs. You've got to earn your stripes because you've got to get the footage. Now, here's the thing. Just because you're D doesn't mean you still don't turn around and go, hey, how long after the event before I get the assets? Assets, assets, assets. Tattoo on inside your eyelids, on your tongue, whatever you like. But make sure you get the assets, because what you're doing now is the marketing for the future. And again, when you go to an event, do backstage. Do little meet and greet videos and little pictures. Show people an insight of Speaker Life. You'll often see me doing little postings of the green rooms, which for one aren't green and two aren't very luxurious. But that's the kind of thing people want to see. They want a little peek into it, and you can be that peek into it. Wanted to keep this one a little bit short for you, but the bottom line of it is you need to be on stage. Now, we haven't spoke about your message. We haven't spoke about structuring a presentation. I've been asked, should we be on stage? And I've answered that question, hell yes. The next question is, can you monetize it? Do you have something of impact to share? Now, are you going to go up there and sell your hair products? That ain't cool. If you're going to go up there and show people how they can look good, that's cool. And a byproduct of that is that they should get your product. That's fine. But you want to get up there, and this, I kind of hate the word speech, because a good speech is no longer a speech, it's a conversation with the audience, even if they're not actually talking to you. And what I mean is, if you're having a conversation regarding a problem that they've got in their head and they're sitting there going, this guy knows the answers to this, I want to pay attention to him. You're having a conversation with them even though they're not talking to you. So you want to make sure that your speech is actually a conversation to the problem that your audience is going to have. Get up there, start answering that, get the credibility. And here's a big thing that I see a lot of people do. Build a catch. You've got to build a catch. At the beginning, go, hey, you're going to really enjoy this presentation. In fact, just email me to here and I'll send you a copy of it. Oh, by the way, I know you're going to want this. Just take a picture of this QR code, and then when you get home, scan it and then send it to me and I'll send something. Catch the data. Don't wait until the end. Who sits around at the end of a movie and watches all of the adverts? Who watches all of the credits? Who looks at the back of a book to see where it was published? Nobody does. So catch early, catch strong, catch in the middle, and tell them why they don't want to forget to get on your list just before the end. In fact, say, hey, I'm really hoping you enjoyed that. I've got one more thing for you. But again, as I said earlier, for this slideshow, you just text it over. Great. And here's the trick. Leave that slide up there and go, I'm going to leave you with a thought. Now, how many times you hear this? Hey, good night. But before you go, I want to leave you with just one more nugget. Now, of course, while you're talking, that email, that phone number, that text is sitting up there on that slide. And when they're taking pictures, that's all on there. So that's what you got to do. That's what you got to focus on. Get your catch, get your assets, get on the stage. If you need any help, then, you know where to find me. But being on stage today, I think, is one of the best. Be on stage, be on podcasts. Did I mention print media? No, for a reason. Focus on your stage life if you want to walk on with extreme clarity. And also at the same time, you can shop that up and you've got all your assets for your social proof. Hey, you want to work with me? I'm a media company. By the way, I was headlining a media convention. How's that for an advert? Think about the kind of places you can be in and think how you can help. Anyway, that was it. That was me. Henry will be back. We're actually going to talk about the world of authoring as well, and actually how they piggyback each other, because the first word in authority is author. So we're going to be talking about that very shortly. Anyway, from now on, if you've got any questions, stick them in there. I'll come back and I'll personally answer them, and then I'm sure in the next few weeks we'll have Henry back. But I am going to be bringing up conversations on why you need to write a book. How's that for a hook? All right. Speak with you soon, folks. Bye.